Hi, this is Coach Colette, host of the Start Within podcast, and welcome to this week's episode of Financial Fridays. So, you made it through the first week of 2021. And you probably have seen lots of talk about resolutions for this year. In fact, I think somewhere I even saw that it is New Resolutions Week. If you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you know that I'm not a huge fan of resolutions per se. I prefer to focus more on intentions, which I think connect more to your deeper inner wisdom, your purpose, your why, your motivation. I've also been excited to see some twists on the theme of New Year, New You that we always see in the media and on social media. And I've seen this twist be New Year, Same You, which I believe is helpful because it allows us to think about the fact that we don't need to completely reinvent ourselves for the new year. And so there's something that I think can be cool to add to that New Year, Same You, New Habits, or New Year, Same You, New Intentions, which again reinforces the fact that you can set new intentions, you can develop new habits, and still appreciate, recognize, and celebrate all that you are. As we are going through January, I'll be sharing with you in this segment as well as in the Unplugged segment tips and prompts and ideas to help you ease into the new year and begin to dream and envision what it is that you would like to manifest. So since this is the first Financial Fridays episode of the year, if we think about New Year, Same You, New Habits, are there any new habits that you would like to develop as it relates to your finances? Do you have new saving habits? Do you have new investing habits? Do you have new spending habits that you would like to develop? It might be helpful to look back on last year's finances to get a sense of where you closed out the year to help you think about what some of those new habits might be. So those are my thoughts for now. Get ready and listen up to today's tip from Singh.
Hello everyone, this is Singh, aka Investing, of the Investing Podcast with your weekly Financial Friday tip. It's the new year, and now's the time to get a fresh start and bright start to your finances. Maybe it's time to have a brush up with your financial advisor and see where you're spending and see your investing habits for 2021. Now's the time to cultivate those and put some budgets in place for you to just move forward with your finances. That is your weekly Financial Friday tip, and I'll speak to you soon. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Hey, it's Coach Colette. You may have felt like you just survived 2020. What would it be like to thrive in 2021? Notwithstanding the external forces over which you have no control, what would it be like to make even a small shift this year? Can you imagine what it will be like at the end of this year when you reflect on all that you have created? It is possible when you start within, and I'd like to help you do it. you can visit my website, startwithincoaching.com, and at the top, click Start Here to schedule your complimentary activation call. We can talk about what's going on in your life right now and where you'd like to be. So go to startwithincoaching.com, click Start Here, and let's start your journey within. Hey y'all, it's Coach Colette with this week's Unplugged segment. Barely holding on to my seat after witnessing the events of this past week. And I was just reading an article about how language softening happens in certain situations. So not actually calling the rioters or not calling them terrorists because they are white Americans. I feel like this moment, this week, it's the moment when rhetoric became reality. And I still haven't completely formalized, solidified my thoughts on all of this. And it has been a challenging week. And yet it reminds me of how much we live in a state of duality. In this week, when pro-Trump white supremacist terrorists stormed the U.S. Capitol, Reverend Raphael Warnock was elected as the first Black senator to represent Georgia. We don't want to miss this opportunity to celebrate this accomplishment, achieved in no small part by organizers and the wonderful, talented Stacey Abrams, who mobilized thousands of Black voters in Georgia to come out and rock that vote. And it is challenging to sit in this duality. I created this Unplugged segment to be real and honest and authentic. The challenging part is witnessing the hypocrisy and watching or reading people saying, this isn't America. This experience being televised, being tweeted, being shown all over the world, as folks would say, airing our dirty laundry in public. And yet, perhaps, maybe that's the good part? I don't know. I even hesitate to say that because I feel like for so long, this hypocrisy, these systems, these institutions of discrimination and oppression have been under the radar and yet at the same time totally visible. And maybe it's the fact that they've been visible and yet undenounced, or visible and yet ignored, visible and yet not challenged. And perhaps this opportunity will give us the chance to denounce. I don't know. I wish that I had more answers. You know, as a coach and a healer, that my goal is to offer words of encouragement and words of inspiration and words of motivation. And I am struggling this week to do so. So it's definitely a great time for self-care. If you have been triggered by the events that you have witnessed this week, definitely take some time for yourself. Take some time to rest. Take some time to treat yourself well. Take some time to find things that bring you joy. Take some time to be with people who bring you joy. Take this time for yourself and know that not being okay is okay. The word that I have kept coming back to this week is duality, the quality or state of having two different or opposite parts or elements. And that is what I believe we are living in. And we're always living in a state of duality, right? Dark, light. This is how we live. And yet, when the light is shown on the darkness, as it was this past week, hopefully it gives us some sense of hope, some sense that there will be change. If we focus also on the light of things like the election of Reverend Raphael Warnock, and know that the actions that people like Stacey Abrams have taken in these past years did make a difference. That's all I've got this week, folks, and I'm not going to apologize for this message because this is real. This is where I am. This is where we are. So take care of yourself, rest, stay hydrated, be well, and get ready for the week that's coming. All my best. Start within to finish strong. So what is your takeaway from this week's Financial Fridays segment? What might you do differently around your money and your mindset? For more financial advice, you can check out Suki's podcast, Invest Singh, where I also share tips on his Wellness Wednesdays segment. If you enjoyed this episode and haven't already subscribed, you can do so on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you like to listen. You can also connect with me on Instagram at Coach_Colette for more inspiration on personal growth and wellness. Tune in next Friday for another episode and get ready to start within to finish strong.